but maybe it doesn't
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, I'm in.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you.
Can everybody see my screen that I'm sharing? Okay, yes. Good. So this is our English channel relay fundraising webinar. Welcome. Thank you everybody for coming. It's good to see you. I'm Ash. I'm the fundraising manager. I've talked to a lot of you about lots of little things all over, and you can always, come to me if you have any questions about anything. And if I don't know the answer, I'll just tap Brian and get the answer anyway. And I'm also sure you all know the lovely Brian, founder of SwimTayka, and he's, you may have seen him at training sessions, things like that. Let me get on this. So, Brian, if you will go ahead and sort of run through SwimTayka's overall mission, just quick recap for that.
I will do, yes. So the main mission for SwimTayka is all around drowning prevention and reduce down the number of drownings that are around the world. Drowning is the third leading cause of unintentional injury deaths worldwide. So what that means is it can be prevented, and that's what we're trying to do, is reduce down the numbers by teaching children. We provide free swimming lessons to children in underprivileged backgrounds and low resource environments, and drowning prevention education to them as well. We tend to work with organisations that are near rivers, lakes and oceans, and the reason why we work with other organisations is because they're already established inside the community. They're already providing some type of support to these communities, and we're just bolting onto regards to what they do so they can have swimming lessons in particular. Like it says here, we connect to other organisations and low resource environments around the world. We currently have programs in Peru, Brazil, and Indonesia, and we've been in Jamaica, Mozambique, Dominican Republic, Bahamas, and there's plenty of other locations that we've been in and helped them to be able to do things. All the money you're raising basically goes into what we basically call a central pot to basically help run these programs. And that goes with regards to whether they want equipment, running the lessons, and because it's free for the children that are out there, for the 5 years that we basically help support them, all the money you raise goes towards helping that and making sure it's successful. And that includes with regards to getting ambassadors out there to be able to help run the programs, ensure that they teach the teachers a very structured program to be able to do the swimming lessons and make it successful for them. So that's a little bit about with regards to the mission and work we do for SwimTayka. Thank you.
Thank you. So we've got a few little bits of what previous English Channel swimmers have said. So they said, don't worry about where you are now. It's a marathon, not a sprint, which is definitely true. Not only is it not a sprint or a marathon, it's a relay. So, to attend the training weekends, which, we've got a few coming up. I'm sure all received the emails. If you have any questions about those at any point as well, you can just let us know. To be honest with yourself and your coaches, because we want the swim, to be the best it can be for you, and it's not really going to help anybody to, disguise anything that you might think needs that. Just honesty is the best policy, and pretty much everybody can do the swim anyway, so there's really not very little to ever worry about. Your team becomes your family, which is always really nice. So, we encourage the bonding of the teammates, and I know you're all in your WhatsApp groups, which is great. And people have said to start fundraising early. Obviously, you start fundraising when you start fundraising. And I think all of you have set up your pages anyway. But, there's always maybe more of a push you can give it whenever, but ideally earlier. We've also have questions that swimmers have asked. I don't know if you all have asked these or have these answers already, but kind of a quick little recap. Do we have to front crawl? I believe the answer to that's no, or is it?
It's a definite yes, and I'll explain the
yes. Okay, sorry, don't listen to me.
Okay, I'll explain the reasons why. So if you're swimming front crawl and get into difficulties, so if you're swimming front crawl, it's easier to swim through the waves. It's easy to be able to breathe, and it's a much stronger stroke. If you are getting into difficulties, you revert to breaststroke. If you start doing breaststroke, everybody knows on the boat that you're in difficulties, so we'll do something about it. If you're just swimming breaststroke and you get into difficulties, you'll just go down. That's all you can revert to. You can't revert to anything else. Hence the reasons why we tell people they have to swim front crawl.
So yes, you do have to swim front crawl. Are there jellyfish? Yes, there are, but they shouldn't be too bad. And swimmers have always said that, even if you do get stung, it's okay. It's not that distracting. You're able to keep going on your swim. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll just be able to avoid them. I don't know. Is it safe? It's as safe as it can be, swimming the English Channel. Obviously, there will always be a little bit of risk, but we do everything and we work with all the right people to make sure that, this is the safest that you would be able to do this. How do the coaches help? That's something that's probably a little bit up to the individual and how much you might want to utilize that. But they're a great resource with helping people who might be a little bit unsure. They can be confidence boosting. They can offer physical tips, training tips, all the good stuff that you need. How long does it take? Again, that's very up to the team. It can take, I want to say, as little as like 12 hours and then up to maybe 30, depending on how you're swimming.
18 hours. If it goes to 30, we'll start worrying.
Okay.
Not so going to do it twice.
Yeah. So really not that long then. And what support do you get? I mean, we've got our coaches, we've got our whole SwimTayka team here to support in any of the aspects that you might need, whether that be fundraising, swimming techniques, even, like what hotel you might want to stay at there, things like that.
One thing I'll say with regards to how long it takes, and what's important of that is always remember it's only one day. It's one day in your life, and whatever happens on the boat stays on the boat. If you just remember it's only for one day and you just got to swim. That's all you've got to do to support your team to be able to do it. Because the next day you'll be able to say you're an English Channel swimmer.
Exactly. So we've just got some pictures of previous swims. If you wanted to just, have that energy.
I think that's me, Brian, one in the middle. The one with the P&O ferry, I think that's me.
Okay. Yeah, I think it could be actually. I recognise you. Yeah, I can recognise your arm coming out the water.
Nice.
I'm the one in the top right.
Yeah.
It looks like a dolphin.
Probably me. Yeah. Have you seen me swim?
Brian is actually Brian's a
Yeah.
shapeshifter. We don't put it on the website, but he's a well-known dolphin shapeshifter.
So there are porpoises in the English Channel, which is what they are, which is similar to dolphins essentially. When you're swimming, you will not see them. The only people that will see them are the people on the boat.
Oh my god!
That's
so cool.
Yeah. So when you get out after your swim, say, "Did you see the dolphins?" No. Where were they? They were next to you.
Wow.
But you will see the P&O ferries and the big tanker ships going past.
It's okay because you'll be there making sure that we're like miles away from them. So
The pilot will be, not me.
Yeah.
So
I meant you collectively.
Yeah. So just to be clear, the container ships have to get out of your way.
Oh.
Because you're going at a much slower speed than them, and because of all the radars and GPS systems they have, they know 20 or 30 miles prior to them actually getting to you. And the Coast Guard will instruct them with regards to make a slight detour. It might be 1 degree or 2 degrees out.
Wow.
The only time when that hasn't happened is when the boat can't maneuver. So there might be another boat alongside them at the passing, which would be the car veer off course. What the pilot does is the pilot does a big circle in the water. The swimmer does not know that they're doing a big circle. All the people on the boat do, but the swimmer doesn't.
No, because you just you spot to the boat, I presume.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes. So the swimmer doesn't realise in regards to what's happening
Until afterwards. It's all fine afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah. So, to talk a bit more specifically about fundraising, we've already, been over our mission and why SwimTayka really exists. And so fundraising is such a crucial part to help us continue doing what we do and serving the communities that we serve. And part of the funds, I'm sure you, again, already know all of this, but part of the funds that you raise goes to the logistics of your English Channel crossing. That's, the boats, the pilots, those things. And then all the rest of it goes directly towards helping us support drowning prevention. So, again, something you probably all know, but always good to make sure to cover it. The fundraising requirements for the English Channel swim. We want people to strive for greatness because that we know that everybody is capable of it. So we ask swimmers to aim for 1,800. And then we find that in many cases, people go above and beyond that. We've had people raise like just way over 2,000, which is obviously great because that's just bonus extra money that we can put directly back into the programs we work with. And, we're always glad for all of the amount. Not everybody has to go over 2,000 because every little bit of it is very helpful and counts towards, our mission of saving lives. So we use Just Giving as our platform. Some of you may be familiar with it already, some of you may not. We use Just Giving because just in our research, we found that it has the most benefits. All of the funds people donate into your page go straight to the organization without fees, so that you're really knowing that the donated money is going where it's supposed to. It has the benefit of allowing you to customize your own page, but then also it allows you to just use the organization's information or a little bit of both, which is really helpful. It also links all of the fundraisers for a specific event together, so you can kind of keep tabs on everybody else if you want, see how everyone else is doing. And it's already a very well-known, established organization, meaning that it's recognized by the general public, other organizations, and is well known to be trustworthy. So here's a little bit about how some fundraising went in 2023. As you can see, our overall target of 36,000 was exceeded. So we raised 156% of that original goal. And here's just some of the people who really went above and beyond, exceeding their marks and helping bring all of that up. So it has been pretty successful. And this is also why we encourage people with the 1,800, because we know it's very reachable. And so if you're wondering how these people did really well, there's a few reasons. We have our team here always ready to answer questions, offer advice, brainstorm, whatever the swimmers need. We have a pretty strong social media presence where we're constantly publicizing the English Channel swims and our programs. So we kind of already have an audience there that people can tap into, and we're willing to sort of collaborate with people if that opportunity arises. Our cause is really important and relatable to a lot of people. because there is a lot of water in the world. I think everybody has some sort of experience, with large bodies of water. And so it's easy to really empathize with our mission. And also, swimming the English Channel is kind of a huge deal. So it just really impresses people. And especially doing it for a good cause, it kind of makes them inspired to give because it's so cool. And then also, if they know somebody swimming the English Channel, of course they want to be like, oh, yeah, well, I helped that person when they swim the English Channel. So I'm cool by association. So we have some top tips for fundraising. This might be stuff you all have come to the conclusion of anyway. But of course, a really good first step is to tell all your friends and family that you're doing this, because not only can they help support you financially, you will probably want their emotional support and enthusiasm as well. Tell your employers, whoever you work for. A lot of swimmers have had donations matched by their companies, or just like flat donations from their companies, which has really helped their funds and been a really big asset. Utilizing social media is an excellent way to share your journey and draw more people into what you're doing. It also gives you the opportunity to sort of collaborate and interact with us on social media, because we love seeing stuff that people post and we enjoy reposting it and things like that. It's good to have clear goals for your fundraising campaign for yourself, and that's also why we help with sort of our goal that we give. And it's really helpful if you take the time to customize your Just Giving page with a personal story, maybe why this is a cause that's important to you, or why you really want to swim the English Channel, because we've kind of found that people who have more personal stories connected to their pages tend to get a bit more interaction, I think, because people see that and it gives them a little bit more to relate to. Another good tip is to be specific with your audiences. So if you are contacting different groups of people, depending on how you're contacting them, it can be very helpful to sort of approach them with different formats. So the example I have here is if you're sending out emails to people maybe have a different kind of email for your friends, for your family, for your colleagues, etc., because you know them all in different aspects, and you'll be able to personalize it more, which will then, again, make people feel a bit more related to and a bit more inclined to participate. And also plan ahead. Are there any events in your life that are coming up that you could sort of use to do something, to build a platform, etc.? So here's some examples of things people have done in the past. Many people, don't need to do anything extra, but sometimes they want to. So there's things like sponsored walks, sponsored silence, garage sales are good. Plus, then you can get rid of stuff that's cluttering your home. Cake sales or bake sales. Asking for donations instead of gifts for birthdays or holidays is also really helpful. Partnering with a local pub or a community hall, or maybe even a library for some kind of activities night. We've got some examples for that here as well. Or like a sponsored head shave. If you raise a certain amount of money, you promise everybody that you'll shave your head, which is not everybody's cup of tea, but it can be worth thinking about. Maybe it would make you more aerodynamic in the water even. I don't know. We also have some incentives we like to offer for people who really get into their fundraising. These are just a few examples of things. One is the English Channel swim book that Brian's written. Some of you may already have that as well. Merchandise discounts, like we sent out the one for the SwimTayka robe a couple weeks ago. Recognition across the charity. This could be maybe even a blog post, social media post, something like that. Sometimes we can offer entry to swim events that are happening outside of the English Channel, which is really great for people who swim often and like to swim in events. And we can also offer discounts both on our volunteering abroad with our programs and future swims with SwimTayka. So it is at this point that I would ask if you have any questions, whether it's about fundraising or just kind of the English Channel swim in general. It's okay if you don't have any questions either. You can
There's
just
no questions from me.
okay.
So Hayley, so you fundraised before for SwimTayka. Is there anything that you did last year? Is there anything you can suggest, because this has been recorded, to anybody else with regards to how you found it last year, with regards to raising the money? Any tips or suggestions you can give, especially related around swimming the English Channel?
I think if you can find people who you definitely know are going to sponsor you, if they're going to sponsor you a good amount, I think it's best if you ask them first. So then the next people who then sponsor you are more likely to give you a higher amount than, you know, say £10. So I think that's a good way to go first of all. And then I often send them a text with the link, and then I would chase them up to see how they got on with the link. And then I just hounded people.
Good.
Absolutely. I think John's a very classic example with regards to asking people for high amounts. I'm just looking at his Just Giving page, and he's got $100 from Tori and Anne, $100 from Ernest, $100 from Cameron. So John, you've done a sterling effort there to be able to convince people to be able to set the bar high so other people follow, which is really good.
Yeah, in regards to that, I think what I kind of my logic was, I actually made the first donation to myself, and I did it anonymously, and I think it was $125, and kind of set the bar in a sense. And I went and reached out to people like my close friends, my family, who I know would probably give more money. And so it kind of started this trend, and it was about $100 trend. And, you know, in other words, if they gave $10, they would feel guilty. So they kept coming in bigger chunks that way. And I think I've kind of stalled that out at this point in time. So I got to go to the next phase and just pick up whatever I can. But I think that when people see that the previous donation was $100, $150, $50, they're tending to want to donate a bigger number. So
absolutely. And I think the important thing there, and I think Luke will be listening to this conversation afterwards, is don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to say to people, look, how I would like you to sponsor me $100, £100, as opposed to just the £10. So be brash, be confident in doing that, and just ask them.
Right.
More often than not, that they will do it. And I know when I did it to our business group that I went into, afterwards Luke says, "Oh, you had some balls, Brian, to ask that," but they did. They all started donating £100 each time, because that's what I asked for, because it was very, very clear. If that's what you ask for, that's what they give. The other thing I also would suggest is when you do get to your target, I believe, Ash, each user can have the ability to change what the target amount is.
I think
so, like, for example, with yourself, John, your target amount is $2,500, which you've got there. You've already surpassed that. You're 104% for $2,600, which is fantastic. So well done, brilliant there.
Yeah, thank you.
So you're well on you're well on your way to getting to France, is what I would say.
I'm halfway. I'm at least halfway there.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, the other thing, Brian, if I could say, when I first, took on this thing, and I took it on late, as you know, I didn't sign up until February, and my initial thought was, I really, really want to do this, and if I just have to pay the whole thing myself, I figured that was the price of admission. I was just going to pay it and then go swim the English Channel. And then I thought I at least have to ask, and I was hesitant, admittingly, And I thought, I'm just going to put it out there with a thought of, it's not like I'm going to do a little 3K run in the community. Like, this is kind of a big deal. And I wanted to put it out there. Like, it was kind of a big deal to do the swim, but in the same way, kind of a big deal as what the cause is for. And so I literally kind of made a big, bold ask, and the response was pretty overwhelming to me. I did not expect to happen what happened, and I think it was just because I did ask, and I asked via text message, I sent emails, and then some people I actually just called them, and again, the response was way better than I thought it would be. And as a result, at this point, I haven't, other than my initial $125, I haven't, it's all been from everyone else. So
that's a classic example of win-win situation. So well done on that. Very, very good. What I was going to suggest, your target amount, because when people see it, they say, oh, you've already reached your target, you don't need any more. So what we suggest people to do is just raise the target to say $5,000.
Okay.
At least that way, then people know you're still raising more money. You can set $10,000. It says it's whatever you want to set it to. That then people will continuously donate towards it with regards to what you're doing and supporting it.
Okay, I could do that.
It's the same to anybody else that's listening as well. Is don't think that £1,800 or $1,800, whatever target you set, is the limit. Set it to more, and people will continue to donate towards you with regards to what you're doing and how you're achieving things. So that's all the things from me, Ash.
Yeah, me as well. If there aren't any questions, then I think it's good. Nobody sent any questions to sort of be addressed during this either, so we're good.
Brilliant. And we're going to have some more webinars like this, mainly to talk about more about the English channel. So especially before our training session at the end of May down in Dover, and everybody will be getting details about what's actually happening down in Dover at the beginning of May, and that will include with regards to how to book onto Dover Channel training, whether you have membership or don't have membership, what we'll be doing, what you need to book onto, what the expectation is of when you go there, and what's going to happen when you get there too. So that'll all become available at the beginning of May. So you'll have the rest of the month to try and get it all sorted out and be ready for it. The important thing with regards to Dover is make sure you have some accommodation booked for that weekend, which I imagine most of you have, but just make sure you have with regards to whether it's staying in Travel Lodge, Premier Inn, your Airbnb, or camping or camper van, wherever it is. Just make sure you have some accommodation for the Friday and the Saturday. Thank you.
Hey, Haley, did you just have a hand up for something?
Yeah, and I was going to ask a question, but it's probably a bit silly. But I was going to ask, does Brian know the date of the gala dinner this year? But he might not know.
We got a provisional date, yes. But we haven't confirmed with the venue yet. The venue, I actually phoned the venue today to get them to confirm. So we can't, I don't want to give the date out until confirmed with the venue.
Yeah.
But that'll be coming in. It's all set up and ready to go, regardless of what that is and how that is. So just to let people know, we have a gala dinner towards the end of November, and that's a time for us to celebrate all the fundraisers like yourself with regards to Swim the English Channel, and also all the volunteers, and you get a chance to actually meet people that have been on the programs. You get a chance to meet some of our partners with inside our programs too. So it's an excellent venue where we've been to previously, but more details will come out of that hopefully in the next couple of weeks once we just confirm with the venue that they're happy to have us.
Yeah.
We've got it verbally from them, we just need it in writing from them to confirm. So it'll be coming soon.
It wasn't a silly question at all. Thank you for asking. Well, if that's all, then I guess we can all go and enjoy the evening. Thank you for coming. It was really great to see you and hear from you. And I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Ash, for organising it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.